The Nightside Project. Finish the day happy with Ethan Millard and Alex Kirry on KSL News Radio.
We try to keep good relationships with everybody here on the Nightside Project, and one of the cool things about doing this show is that we've gotten to know some great people over the last several years, and one of those we would like to honor as a real hero today. His name is Lawrence, and you may have met Lawrence. We would see him often at our restaurant shows and things like that. We've actually seen him even just recently, and Lawrence popped up in the news, and people first started pointing him out to us because when he popped up in the news, he popped up wearing a Nightside Project t-shirt. Now, which is absolutely phenomenal. In fact, I'm going to get a photograph here. We're doing this episode on video, so I'm going to move the photo over here so you can see it if you're watching this. And here's a photo of Lawrence, and there he is, clear as day, Nightside Project t-shirt.
Yeah.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
No, it's great. And look,
he wore it for his media interviews, and I love that so much.
Well, it's his, to be honest, it is one of the sharper t-shirts that KSL gives out.
It's the best t-shirt KSL's ever
t-shirt
done.
gives out because it's black. It doesn't start with that dumb white, it commits to the color. It's got a sharp logo on it. And look, Lawrence is let me stress this. Lawrence is like the nicest guy. The nicest dude. He's genuine. He's
generous.
Super generous.
We were on remote once, and he brought us all this food. He stopped by and got some meat and cheese platters from a store and then brought them to us. And this is the kind of guy he is. Now, let me put a finer point on this whole thing.
For a Christmas party, so we could have a Christmas party at one of our remotes. Yeah. That guy. I mean, he's a super sweet dude, and he's bright. You talk to him, and he will nerd out with you on any nerd topic, Star Wars, Star Trek, or otherwise. He will tech out with you if you were talking about phones and computers and things, and he'll bust out his Samsung and be like, "Let me show you something."
Here's why he's in the news. Here in the Salt Lake area where we live, there's a big debate over where to put these new homeless shelters. And they had a rally at a city in the Salt Lake Valley, and this city.
I love how you're like, which will remain nameless.
Kind of an upscale place, right?
Yeah. It's like it kind of felt like a little bit of they had to throw it in there because they didn't want it to all be West Valley or South Salt Lake.
Right. They threw it in an upscale neighborhood so that they could not pick it, but then say they had an upscale neighborhood in there.
Right.
So anyway, they had a rally there in this upscale city, and of course everyone's against the homeless shelter, booing the mayor, booing all this stuff. And then Lawrence shows up as one of the only people to speak on behalf of homeless services and homeless people. Lawrence shows up wearing the Nightside Project t-shirt, gets up on the stage at this rally, and there were a few thousand people.
Think about it too. Everybody. Well, I think the count ended up being like 800. So don't overinflate it. But it was a lot of people.
Why didn't you just let me say a few thousand people?
Because I'm not going to – look, you and your liberal media take on things. No, but what I was going to say is that he gets up and Lawrence is he's well-spoken, and he goes, hey, listen, because other people that got up that night cannot say the same. There was a lady who didn't know the mayor's name. And people were like, this is a stupid thing. It's so stupid. And then he gets up there, and people are like, not in my backyard. You're not going to do this to my city. And he was like, let me be clear. Homeless people do not want to be in your backyard either. They do not. They wish that they were not in these circumstances, but we have to figure out a way for this to work. Gets booed off the stage. Gets booed.
I was so proud of him because standing up there, one of just maybe one or two people that actually spoke on behalf of homeless services, he stood up there, took the booze in his Nightside t-shirt, delivered his message. And
then doesn't even give him the double middle finger like I would have because I hate people.
I love it.
Things
and
like that.
Lawrence is just the best. And anyway, you can see these photos also on our social media accounts. We've been kind of swapping these stories because now the media's been interviewing him because he's the guy that got up there and took all these boos.
And they're all, now what is Nightside? Apparently some sort of
is it a religious cult?
Well, apparently it's a pro-homeless shelter and Draper type publication.
It's a podcast hosted by homeless men. Now, and the interesting thing is Lawrence knows what he's talking about because Lawrence himself is in a very fluid situation. As he explains in these interviews, he's a truck driver, and he sometimes has to live out of a trailer that he owns, and he runs cables to it for electricity. And so he himself has experienced that insecurity of not having a place to immediately go to. And so I thought he spoke very, very well.
Well, don't go to the comment section because that'll make you depressed. People go, look, there are jobs out there. You can get a job.
Well, he has a job.
Yeah.
He has a job. He's a truck driver. So it's not like he's just sitting around. So it's anyway, I was proud of Lawrence. I thought he did great. And he didn't deserve to be booed.
No.
But all that did was increase his esteem in my mind.
I love how the one lady got here and goes, no city should have to have the homeless shelter in it. No city.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Well, but you know what? Because she is an upscale person living in an upscale neighborhood, she gets that request. She gets to have that request. So
hey,
one of the perks of being rich is you get what you want from the government.
Hit the